Hi everyone, I'm here today with Michelle and Richie Perez. They are the owners of Richie's Termite and Pest Service right here in Temescal Valley. And we are still in the middle of the stay-at-home orders and gradually opening up, but we're wearing masks, keeping safe distancing. And I want to just have you meet Michelle and Richie. And Michelle, why don't you tell us a little bit about your background and how you got started and ended up here in Temescal Valley?
A little bit about our background. We've been in the industry for 20 years. Started in Orange County, into LA County. We opened our other company with a partner company, eventually just moved into our own, and that's how we ended up here in Temescal Valley.
Great,
Yeah.
great. And
Yeah.
obviously working together as a husband and wife team like we do.
Yeah, that's true. That's very true.
Yeah.
We've been working in the termite and pest control industry for about 21 years together. 21 years, right in there somewhere.
Yep.
We've lost track of some of the years.
Yeah,
That's okay,
great.
though.
That's
Long
great.
time.
And we've been running Richie's Termite and Pest Service for 3 years.
3 years.
Oh, okay.
Definitely awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's been a real
Awesome.
good time.
Yeah.
And we grew up, not too far from here, right up the road in Lake Elsinore.
Okay.
Both went to the same high school together. Our son graduated the same high school, so we're hometown folks, that's
Yep.
for sure.
That's great. That's
Sure.
great.
Yeah.
Well, I know I met Richie when I first got into real estate back in 2004, and just
that
always
long.
had a great ongoing professional relationship. So
Yeah,
it's great to
appreciate
have
that.
you guys out here today to tell us a little bit more about Richie's and about what you guys can do to help homeowners.
Yeah,
So
absolutely.
on that note, I do have a couple of questions that I brought up here, and we had talked about what is the biggest problem that homeowners encounter at this time of year, going from spring into summer, and is there anything in particular you can think of that they can do to prevent it?
Yeah. So I think like the biggest ones we come across are like ants right now. Earwigs are a big one, and the American field roach or oriental roach are called, or water bug. Most people call it a water bug.
Okay.
Those are what we get. We're getting a lot of calls right now for those, right? And bees.
Bees and rodents.
Bees and rodents we get a lot of calls for. But so this time of the year, obviously we start heating up, and those earwigs and those roaches, they like to live under moist areas, pavements, mulch, things like that. And when we get hot, they start coming out and they start coming into our homes. So get a lot of calls for those, and of course bee removal, hive removal, and things like that when they get into people's homes. But I think the biggest thing that anybody can do to help prevent bugs in the home is, one, start with an inspection. Have a PMP, what we call them PMP, a pest management professional, come out and evaluate your home. So we're a company who's licensed to do both termite and pest control, so termite and general pests. So we can come out for $95 and we do that inspection. Then from there, homeowners can do things like just go around and seal up gaps and cracks around windows and doors. Try not to have too much storage like close to the home,
Right.
and correct any leaks, moisture problems. Moisture is always associated, whether it's termites or other pests. So yeah, those are some things we can do. Keeping up the paint job, like we talked earlier, that's a big thing, especially when you're talking about termites and dry rot.
Right. Right.
But it's always going to circle back around to engaging with a good, high quality pest management professional.
Right.
And that's going to be your best source.
I remember years and years ago when I first met Richie, he had mentioned to me that moisture is your biggest problem, and even though we think we live in this Mediterranean dry climate,
Right.
we actually do have a lot of rain. We had 4.5 inches of rain this spring,
gosh, yep.
in like
Yeah.
a 2.5-3 week period, and as a result of that, that's where you can start to see a lot of runoff off your roof and back onto your, down your patio and into your drains, and if your drains aren't clearing right, and if you don't have gutters on your house, there's where you can get a lot of wood rot on that fascia.
Yeah,
so I
definitely.
can remember you telling me seamless rain gutters,
Paint job.
your fascia,
Yeah.
and those are going to be some great maintenance.
It all goes back to just preventative things,
Right,
right? Just
right.
taking those preventative steps.
Yeah, well, and especially right now where people are home and they've got maybe some time to do some of those jobs that they can do themselves, like the painting. That might be a great little project, especially before it gets terribly hot.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's gonna happen quick.
In painting, I know you're not a professional painter, but what do you see that there's like kind of a rule of thumb out here with the strength of the sun that we get, that how often the fascia should be painted?
I think it's a running, idea that about every 5 years you should paint, but kind of as needed. If you see it starting to crack and peel, or things like that, then and there's all kinds of quality paints, like different qualities of paints also.
Right.
So I think, but every 5 years is pretty
Right.
much the going,
Yeah.
thought there.
And if you do live in a homeowners association, make sure that you check if you want to change that fascia color to whatever your homeowners
That's right.
association will
You don't
allow.
want any unneeded
Yeah,
attention.
yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So within talking about sealing up things, is that
Yep.
something if they have one of your PMP, your pest management professionals come out, do that inspection, you guys can give a lot of ideas and tell them, hey, look, remove this. If they've got a lot of storage in the garage, maybe they need to pull that out.
Yep. Go
and
through
this is
all
a great
that.
time to be doing some of that decluttering.
Yeah, you think about it, like I'll just kind of use an example of why it's take advantage of a $95, termite inspection and pest evaluation all in one. You take advantage of that because what's going to happen is if you don't have a problem, you're able to seal up these gaps or cracks around the home or on the roof where rodents can get in at. And if you get those taken care of before you have a problem, well then you're not going through the trapping, the killing of the rodents, the bait boxes that have to be set out. You're really getting ahead of the game, and typically that's going to run somebody, maybe $350 to engage in those kind of repairs, where if you have the rodent situation, it's $350 blocking up those areas plus taking care of the rodent problem. So again, it's all, what is, there's a good saying, it's
An ounce of prevention
there you go.
is worth a pound of cure.
There you go.
Yes,
That's it right there. So
absolutely.
Yep.
Yeah. I told people, that maintenance will cost you a lot less than having to have somebody come in and do all the repairs later.
Yeah, you know it.
Yeah.
So,
well, are there any other closing thoughts that you can think of for right now, this time of the year?
What I'll do is I'll tell folks right now, ants. Ants are a big deal. They always are. Every single year we live with the Argentine ant, which typically what people get. These are the ones that come in from outside and invade your home. And if homeowners would just take some prevention, go down and spend maybe $8 at Home Depot and buy these little bait stations called Terro, Terro. I'm sorry I don't have one on me, or I'd show it right to you here on the camera. But they're easy to find, and they're a borite solution, mixed with a little sweetener. But if you can set these all around the outside of your home, in your garden, about 4 points of your structure, and that will pretty much take care of any ant problem that potentially you may have without doing anything. If they do happen to get in your house, you simply set one of those down. And this is a pro tip right here. We don't really spray inside homes at all when it comes to ants. We don't need to, because typically it's an outside source infestation that's coming in, but it's coming from the outside. So we focus outside, and we use these Terro bait stations. So they're great. They do the trick. It gets a little hairy because a lot of ants get on them at first when you put them down because they're a bait, but give it a couple days and you're pretty much ant free. So I'd say that's the biggest tip I could give for this time of the year.
And they are pet safe.
And
so
they are
people
pet
have
safe.
dogs or cats, and they run around and see those ants. And I know some dogs will actually lick up the ants, but if the ants have eaten some of the bait, the dog eats the ants, they're not going to be to the best of your knowledge.
And I'd encourage everybody to check out our website. I mean, we have some really good videos for homeowners on our website. It's good tips.
Go ahead and
it's what is it? Richie's? No, it's not up there.
It's Richie's termiteandpest.com.
Richie's RICHIES termiteandpest.com. Yeah, that's us.
Okay. And the word "and" is spelled out, right?
All spelled out. Yep.
So
thank
all
you.
spelled out. And then you can see the phone number back here. We're located right here in Temescal Valley, right off Temescal Canyon Road, and in this little small light industrial park. And that's where Richie and his crew are, and all of his office staff. So if you are trying to focus on using local businesses, here you go. Richie's Termite and Pest.
Yeah.
The owner, Richie, and Michelle, his wife, and they run a great shop here, and they're just awesome people. So,
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
just happy to promote their business and promote the use of a local business.
Appreciate that.
Awesome. Thank
Appreciate
you so
it.
much.
All right, thank you.
Thank you guys both
Thank
so
you.
much for giving us your time today. It's very generous of you, and we really appreciate everything that you do to be loyal to the Valley.
You betcha.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Happy to do it.
Yes, thank you.
Awesome.
All right.